Hi all, this is Once and Future Gamer, and welcome to another Pokemon Challenge. Last week was smooth sailing as I went through a Generation 1 game and asked the question of whether or not I could beat Pokemon Yellow with just a single Psyduck. The link is in the card, check it out if you haven't already done so. Today though, I think this one is going to be a whole lot harder. We go to Gen 2 and ask the question of whether or not I can beat Pokemon Silver with just a single Sentret. Sentret is the Johto regional rodent. It's a mono normal type with a base stat total of 215. Our best stats are attack at 46 and special defense at 45. Our worst is our speed at 20. Sentret is unique as it is the only Pokemon to date to have this total post special attack and defense split. We're slightly better than another Pokemon we took on Silver with in Pichu. We're slightly worse than the Poochyena I took on Pokemon Fire Red with. This next bit I'll keep simple. We're weak to fighting, we're immune to ghost. Both of these types are one of the gyms we have to face with Chuck's fighting types and Morty's ghost types. Our level up moves are pretty insipid. Quick attack is probably the best move we get via level up, and when that's the bragging point, you know you've got problems. What we do have in our favour though is a pretty big move pool TM wise. We can get a lot of coverage. We get the elemental punches, which is nice. We might not be able to make best use of them, but it's a tactical option. We get Surf, we get Dynamic Punch, Shadow Ball, Dig, Rollout, Iron Tail, Thief, Fury Cutter, all moves that can give us variety. There's also plenty of stab options such as Headbutt, Swift, Hidden Power and Return. If you do enjoy what you see here, please don't forget to hit that like button, slam that subscribe button and click on the comments section. Predictions. Your guess is as good as mine as to how this will go. I think once we start getting good move coverage, it'll be fine. Faulkner shouldn't be an issue. I can see Bugsy's Cypher causing problems. The fighting gym might be an issue if we can't win quickly. The rival will probably cause issues, especially the Azalea Town fight. There's potential for each of the Elite Four to cause us problems in different ways. Bruno and Karen could be bad. We might be able to beat Blue in Kanto, but I think Red might be a bridge too far. But with the coverage we get, you never know. I'm more confident than I was in the Pichu run. Just the rules then. In combat, I can only use Sentret. Other Pokemon will be needed for HMs but unable to fight. Only held items and Pokeballs in combat, but we can use healing items outside of battle. And last of all, no glitches or exploits. I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with Sentret so that I can do the whole run with it. I didn't think it made too much of a difference which one I replaced here because we're still going to be a whole lot less powerful than whatever the rival picks, but I always figure Feraligatr looks like the hardest to fight. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I nickname our Sentret Reynolds. It's a really dumb Marvel reference. If you get it, comment down below. She's not particularly strong, but well, it is what it is. I immediately set about training Reynolds up, going across the first bit of the game, from New Barktown to Cherry Grove City to Mr. Pokemon's house, and the encounter with Professor Oak, who decides to trust some kid he's never met before with a really expensive bit of equipment, before I have to go back and fight the rival and his stolen Totodile. We free hit it, but there's a speed tie between us. With Reynolds' short, stumpy legs, no wonder we're not outspeeding much. Wonder if I can get her some stilts. Totodile goes down and he runs off before I go report him to the police. Next bit of the game is Violet City. After clearing out Sprout Tower, I go after Faulkner. I'm not too concerned about this one, but I will need the Mud Slap TM he hands out if I want to get through the next bit. And more than that, I'll need the badge if I want to progress the game. I'd like to say that there's some great element of strategy to what I'm doing, but the truth is I just spam quick attack. 2 of them taking out his Pidgey and 3 of them down in his Pidgeotto. If he'd started using Mud Slap, that might have been an issue, but as it is, we soon take the victory thanks to the level advantage we've built up. Let's move on and get on with the game. I head south through Union Cave and into Azalea Town. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little terrified about what Bugsy might do to us, given that his Cypher is a monster. That's a Pokemon with more than twice our base stat total. We do have a bit of a level advantage, but I'm worried about it killing us before we can take it out. Let's see how we do first attempt. Versus Metapod, I get a few defense kills off to raise our defense. It hits us with a few tackles, but we take it out with a series of quick attacks after I'm done buffing. Kakuna goes down to 3 quick attacks thanks to Harden. That it takes 3 is worrying, but it hits us with a weak poison sting, which at least doesn't poison us. That's something. We start to hit Cypher with quick attack when it comes out. It starts to chain together stab fury cutter attacks. If it took another turn to knock it out, I reckon we might have lost this attempt. But as it is, we can 4-hit the Cypher and move on. Next is the rival fight at the exit to the city, and this is the one that I need to be careful with, particularly his Ghastly. It misses Hypnosis twice, and I 2-hit it with Mud Slap. That thing likes to put Pokemon to sleep and then spam Spite, which is a problem with Mud Slap because it only has 10 PP. Whoever designed that move was trying to troll the players, I reckon. Low power, low PP. Sure, it lowers accuracy, but it seems like they made that move intentionally trash. Zubat confuses Reynolds, but we take it out with 2 quick attacks. Croconaw absolutely trashes us at the start thanks to our confusion, but we crucially land a crit Mud Slap and it saves us from the lost. With 13 HP left, it misses a bunch of attacks as I try to quick attack it to death, and eventually I succeed. But if it had landed a few more water guns and scratches, it wouldn't have been pleasant. When I get to Goldenrod City, I head to the department store. It's Sunday, so I can get return. Also, I start to look at the elemental punches. I purchase all 3 in TM form and teach Reynolds Thunder and Fire Punch. I don't think Ice Punch is necessary just about now. I also teach Reynolds Dig to replace Mud Slap. Just something to help me for the next few gyms, especially this one. So, versus Whitney. Reynolds is female, so at least she can't be seduced by the satanic cow. This fight goes badly. I managed to get Clefairy out of the fight without taking any damage thanks to it missing double slap. 2 quick attacks are enough to take it out. But then Miltank. Has there been any 3 words ever that sum up a game so succinctly? I hit a few Thunder Punches, hoping for paralysis, but to no avail. I get hit by 3 rollouts, which wreck our health, but I go for a Dig to evade the 4th. Dig is surprisingly insipid when it comes to dealing damage, and we get it down to about 1/5 of its health before it knocks Reynolds out with Stomp. Still, we didn't do bad, a little stronger, and I think we've got a chance. I bump Reynolds up to level 30 and try again. This time, it takes 3 quick attacks to knock Clefairy out thanks to it using Metronome and manages to get Synthesis for health recovery. It also misses a double slap, which is quite handy when Miltank comes in because we're still at full health. I land a Thunder Punch, we get quite a bit of Quick Claw luck here, but we don't get paralysis. It goes into Rollout and I go into Dig. Alternating between the 2 moves is the plan. It misses a rollout and starts up again, landing a crit. I throw a few Thunder Punch attacks to finish it off. That could have been worse. Time to move on. When we arrive in Ecruteak City, it's a choice between going after Morty and fighting the rival, so I do the latter. It's funny how when you play the remakes, there's so much stuff that's optional in the originals that became mandatory in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. In the remakes, you have to do Sprout Tower before Faulkner. In the remakes, you do have to fight the rival before you can face Morty. The rival fight is close. Haunter outspeeds and lands Curse. I go for Dig and take it out, but the damage is done. Magnemite is next. I dare not go for Dig, so instead I take it out with a single Fire Punch. Next is Zubat, and just like Haunter, it outspeeds and lands Confuse Ray, though we do take it out with Thunder Punch. Last is Croconaw, and we do manage to hit it with a Thunder Punch to wipe out most of its health, but it starts biting us and getting flinches, which, in combination with Curse damage, is bad. With 4 HP left, we land a decisive blow and Croconaw goes down to another Thunder Punch. There is not a chance I'm beating Morty at this level. We're going to get outsped and cursed probably, so I want a few more levels. I head over to Olivine and clear out the lighthouse before I head back to fight him. I need to beat him to open the map up. I don't think we'll have too many problems with Jasmine this run for a change. That might be the famous last words, but it's moot at the moment. I go try Morty at level 38. How bad can this be? Abject, in a word. We outspeed Ghastly and take it down with Dig. I don't know if we are actually faster or it's the Quick Claw. Haunter definitely is faster though and uses Curse, though we take it out with Dig. Versus Gengar, it's actually strong enough to survive Dig. It fails with Hypnosis at the first 2 attempts, but catches us with the 3rd before we can finish it off in its weakened state. And then, a combination of Curse and Dream Eater takes Reynolds out. It's time to grind. I make another try at level 40, see if this makes any sort of difference. I doubt it, but I'm open to being surprised. Ghastly goes down in the same fashion. We're still not fast enough to outspeed Haunter and get tagged with Curse before taking it down with Dig. Fortune favours us though, as this time we're strong enough to one-hit Gengar with Dig. Thankfully, it misses Hypnosis before the second Haunter comes out and fails with Spite before we take it down with Dig. 4 badges down, let's go across the sea to see Anwood. I don't think this one will be easy if I'm honest. One fighting type blow is going to cause a lot of damage to us, but I suppose we'll have to see. Worst case scenario, I come back here later, but let's see how we match up versus Chuck. Actually, it goes pretty well. Primeape is out first and I land a quick attack before it connects with a trio of Fury Swipes which could actually do worse damage. I take it out with a second quick attack. Next is Poliwrath, and this thing is faster than us. It misses a Dynamic Punch and I counter with a Thunder Punch, doing just over half its health. The second Dynamic Punch lands. Uh-oh! It confuses Reynolds and leaves her on 5 HP. It's do or die time. Thankfully, my luck comes up trumps and she throws a second Thunder Punch that knocks Poliwrath out and we take the 5th badge and run. I make a try on Jasmine when I've saved Ampharos from certain death. I reckon that as long as I avoid paralysis from the Magnemite, I'll be pretty golden in this fight. The first Magnemite comes out, we're faster, we take it out with Dig. The second Magnemite comes out, it looks like we're faster, we take it out with Dig. When Steelix comes out, once again, it looks like we're faster as we strike first and hit it hard with Fire Punch for well over half its health. The bad news is that it hits us back hard with Iron Tail, putting us on yellow health. She heals it, but it looks like we are faster after all as we take it out with 2 more Fire Punches for the 6th badge. Reynolds is tearing it up so far. I head to the Lake of Rage north of Mahogany Town and do all that stuff before I go back down and fight my way through the Team Rocket hideout. The story always feels strangely unpaced in this bit of the game. You have a bit of Team Rocket stuff before the second gym, and then it all congregates around the same time as the 7th canonical badge. Weird. Unlike in HGSS, there's no dual battle with Lance in this section either, which was an interesting change they made. The next is the Ice Gym, and I'm not too concerned about this one if I'm honest. Price is not the hardest of trainers at the best of times. His Dugong can be tanky, but I'm sure we'll have enough to overpower him as long as we can avoid becoming frozen. Seal is easier as Reynolds channels her inner Zeraora and hammers it with Thunder Punch, knocking it out. Dugong comes out next and Reynolds does the same thing, hammering into it twice with the same move and taking it down as she gets clipped with an Aurora Beam. Last is Piloswine and it gets clocked with Fire Punch, putting it in red health before it lands a Blizzard and Price heals it. A Fire Punch and a quick attack put an end to it and give me the 7th badge. Radio Tower then, let's fight our way through it, though the next real major fight is the one against the rival in the Goldenrod Underground. This fight is pretty straightforward. Golbat does land a wing attack which does minimal damage, but it could have been Confuse Ray, which would have been worse. We take it out with Thunder Punch. Magnemite goes down to Fire Punch. Our Quick Claw triggers to let us use Dig versus Haunter, otherwise I don't think we outspeed. It bodes well for Karen's Gengar in the Elite for that. Sneasel lands a quick attack but goes down to Fire Punch before Feraligatr comes out to land a Water Gun. We take the Big Croc out with Thunder Punch and Quick Attack. We'll take that and move on. I tear through Archer Mark 1 at the top of the radio tower, but he's not a tricky opponent, as intimidating as Houndoom can't be. I always thought it was interesting when Gen 2 came out, and I'm old enough to remember this, I will say. I thought Houndour and Houndoom looked friggin' awesome when I saw them, and I was like, yeah, I want to use this thing on my Johto playthrough. And at the time, I couldn't see a Game Freak laughing in the background at that notion, because you can only get it in the post-game in Kanto. Same with Murkrow, same with Sneasel, I think. Way to hype your new type. Being fair, back then, we didn't have any idea what was good or not. We just went on what looked cool, and a Horned Fire Dog was pretty cool. Anyway, I tramp through Ice Path and get to Blackthorn City and the home of the Dragon Gym. For this, I replaced Fire Punch with Ice Punch because it might come in useful. I bought a few extra Elemental Punch TMs while in Goldenrod, just so I've got the options of switching the moves up. I don't want to lose Dig, and I don't think at this level I can afford to lose Quick Attack, not while our speed is so low. I might replace it eventually, but not right now. Here comes Claire. I actually think this one might be tricky. I don't know if we're going to outspeed the Dragonair or not, and if we don't and get paralysed by Thunder Wave, we might be screwed. Plus, I think Kingdra is going to be a horrific fight. I guess we'll make a try at level 59 and see how we do. Maybe we'll get Fortune, because after all, it does favour the bold. The first Dragonair outspeeds and fails with Thunder Wave. We can at least one-hit them with Ice Punch, which is something. The second Dragonair lands Thunder Wave and then Slam after we're fully paralysed, but we do take it out at the second attempt with Ice Punch. Quick Claw activates on the third Dragonair and we Ice Punch it down. Versus Kingdra, I switched to Thunder Punch to try and paralyse it. It lands a Hyper Beam before we hit 2 Thunder Punches in quick succession, getting it down to about a third of its health, before I hit a Quick Attack and get the luckiest crit ever to take it down without her even getting the chance to heal it. Well, that was lucky. Guess I go through Dragon's Den to get the Dragon Fang so that Claire will stop being so high maintenance and give me the badge that I so richly deserve. I always did think this bit was more interesting in both Crystal and HGSS because it feels a bit more special in those games than it does here. All this before heading out to Tojo Falls and the road to Kanto. I hit probably my favourite victory road in the entire franchise, and then there's a final rival fight with Rod. His Sneasel is up first and 2 quick attacks are enough to take it out. It lands a counter in Fury Cutter. Next is Golbat, who hits Wing Attack and then survives Thunder Punch, which isn't good. It goes down to Quick Attack though. Magneton is next and goes down to Dig. Haunter goes to Mean Look, but then gets taken down by Dig. Kadabra is his 5th, and it goes down to a single Quick Attack before Feraligatr is his last. It hits a Slash for decent damage, but goes down to Thunder Punch, and Quick Attack finishes it off. Let's move on out. Elite 4 time. Here are our stats at level 64. I really, sincerely, don't believe we have a chance at this level, but I suppose I could be wrong. These are bad starts, especially our speed and physical defence. Rest of them are just about close to passable. I'd be worried about the special attack too. Regular attack and special defence at least have hit 3 figures. Comments now on whether or not you think I can do this at this level. Personally, I think I'll need to grind more, but we will see. Willie's up first and he's a psychic type trainer. This first attempt goes pretty badly. Xatu number 1 hits Confuse Ray at the start and we have awful luck over the course of the fight, hitting ourselves a bunch of times. Combined with getting clouted by psychic attacks, this doesn't do us a lot of good. We do take Xatu down with Thunder Punch and Quick Attack, plus we do deal big damage to Jinx, but it's not even close. I guess I go hit the grinding trail. I have a feeling this grinding session will be awful. I'm going to try and bump up to level 70 and see how we do then. If we're struggling that badly with Will, we're going to be screwed with the other members. I end up making another try at level 71, also replacing Ice Punch with Fire Punch. Shouldn't need it until Bruno probably. I definitely want Fire Punch for Koga's Fortress, plus it'll be handy on Executor and Jinx for Will potentially. This rematch with Will is brutal as we immediately get tagged with Psychic from Xatu 1. We do knock it out with Thunder Punch though. Jinx outspeeds us and uses Psychic, but we take it out with Fire Punch and Quick Attack. Executor is next and it goes down to a single Fire Punch before Slowbro comes out and we do outspeed this one, hitting it with Thunder Punch. It survives and goes for Curse before we take it out with Quick Attack. Xatu 2 comes out last, it lands Confuse Ray, we hit ourselves in confusion before the Quick Claw triggers and we take it out with Thunder Punch. Whew! Let's hit Koga and his poison types. I always feel like he's more annoying than difficult in these games. Ariados we outspeed and one hit with Fire Punch. Venomoth goes down the same way to Fire Punch. Fortress also goes down to Fire Punch. Muck survives the Dig Attack, missing Sludge Bomb, and then it fails with Toxic as we have to finish it with Quick Attack. Last is Crobat, who does poison us with Toxic. We leave it on red health with Thunder Punch, but before we can finish it, he heals it, and then we have to knock it out with Quick Attack and Thunder Punch. The double team it uses on us, all to no avail. Bruno then. This one could be interesting indeed. I replaced Fire Punch with Ice Punch. There's only Karen's Vileplume that's weak to fire left in the competition, and Ice covers that too. Bruno has potential to be tough. He'll hit us for super effective damage potentially. Versus Bruno, our run comes crashing down. Hitmontop is friggin' annoying as it keeps using Dig. Quick Attack does less than half of its health. When I try to use my own Dig to shield from its Dig, it uses Detect. An annoying strategy, but eventually, after what feels like an eternity, I take it down with Thunder Punch and Quick Attack. Hitmonlee goes down to 2 Quick Attacks but hits High Jump Kick. Hitmonchan goes down to 2 Quick Attacks but hits Mach Punch. Yeah, this is kind of the point when I know I'm not winning this, as Machamp comes out next. We hit it with Dig, but a single Cross Chop lays Reynolds out. Oh dear. Grind again then, I think. I go back into the Elite 4 at level 78. A second attempt on Bruno ends in similar fashion as Machamp lays out Reynolds with a crit Cross Chop. Not good. Who'd have thought Bruno would have been the wall? Actually, he was when I did Fire Red with Poochyena. I also figure that it's time to replace Quick Attack with Return. Our speed has increased due to stat training on Ponyta, Raticate and Doduo, but there are some things that are still going to outspeed us. Ah well, let's do this I guess. This time, Bruno is a one-shot sweep. Return powers first through Hitmontop, then Hitmonlee, Then Hitmonchan before even Machamp goes down to a Soul Return. Onix is last and I take it out with Ice Punch. Woo! Karen is like Koga. She has the potential to be annoying between her tanky, sand-attacking Umbreon, her cursing Gengar and her paralysing Vileplume. Let's see how this goes. Remarkably, Umbreon is a one-hit with Return. Vileplume, out next, goes down to Ice Punch. So far, so good. Gengar outspeeds, as I predicted earlier in the video, and lands Curse, but we take it out with Dig before Murkrow comes out next and goes down to Thunder Punch. Last is Houndoom and it goes down to Return. I'm fortunate, Curse worked different in Gen 2 to different gens. We knock something out, we don't take Curse damage that turn. That's pretty good if you think about it. Just Lance then, and this could go either way. If he doesn't knock us out, then we'll win. And how's that for a prediction? Nah, his Pokemon are all pretty strong. I think Aerodactyl will outspeed us for sure. Not sure if the Dragonite will or not, but it's a good possibility. If we get paralysed and hit with repeated Hyper Beams, we are screwed. We outspeed Gyarados and hit Thunder Punch. It goes down. That's good. First Dragonite, we outspeed and it goes down to Ice Punch. Good, quick claw luck, maybe. Second Dragonite, we outspeed and it goes down to Ice Punch. Good, quick claw luck, maybe. Aerodactyl, we outspeed and it goes down to Ice Punch. That had to be the quick claw. Charizard does outspeed us and hit Flamethrower, but we knock it out with Return before we hit the last Dragonite with Ice Punch for victory. And thus, once again, it goes down and I enter the Hall of Fame. It's not over yet though, we've got fights with Blue and Red to attempt, so let's get that particular party started. I'm not covering most of the Kanto Gym Leader fights because they're barely stronger than the Elite Four if I'm honest. 3 years to get a better and, well, they didn't. Blue is the final Gym Leader and level wise he's stronger than Lance. Pidgeot hits Wing Attack and goes down to Thunder Punch. Alakazam puts up Reflect, but it does go down to Return. Ice Punch takes down Rhydon before Gyarados is next. It does go for Rain Dance, but it does go down to Thunder Punch. Executor is next, but it goes down to Ice Punch before last is Arcanine, who lands Extreme Speed and then goes down to Dig. Just the red fight on Mount Silver then. I think I'm going to bump my level up to 100 for this because I doubt we'll be able to do it at a lower level. Maybe not even then. I use my 2 rare candies to do so, and so these are our stats. Special defense is good, and with Pikachu, Espeon, Charizard, Venusaur and Blastoise all as primarily special attackers, that should bode well. Regular attack and special are okay. Not much between them, which is handy really. That low speed is still worrying. At level 97, we were still getting outsped by Koga's Crobat and Lance's Aerodactyl when grinding up on the Elite Four. I guess we'll have to see. So, I make a dozen tries at this, and the issue is Pikachu. If I get charmed at the start of the fight, it's a wipe. We've got no chance. If we get paralysed at the start of the fight, no chance. If Espeon uses Reflect, we've got no chance versus Snorlax. Espeon hits hard too with Psychic, capable of doing easily a third of our health in damage. We can't one-hit Venusaur, and Charizard hits us too hard too. So, I think I'll call it here. Too much has to go right, and we're just not strong enough. That was an interesting challenge, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Join me again this time next week for another Pokemon challenge. Over the next 2 weeks, we're doing back-to-back Gen 3 challenges, kicking off with Pokemon Fire Red with a single Bagon. That one is sure to be intriguing. If you have enjoyed what you've seen here, then please make sure you drop a like. Maybe even subscribe if you want to keep up to date. Hey, why not even comment? Tell the world what you think. If you do want to suggest a future challenge, then there's the said comment section below, and in the description to the video, there's links to both my Twitter and my Discord where suggestions can be made. There's also links to all my other YouTube playlists. I've done 31 prior Pokemon challenges, I've done randomizers, I'm currently playing Legends Arceus, as well as games in other franchises. Anyway, we're almost out of time now, so until next week, this has been Once a Future Gamer, and I'll just say, take care now, have a great week, and see you next time. Bye bye now.